Hi, Bill Carlino, Editor-in-Chief of Accounting Today. We're pleased to be joined by Stephen Chipman, Chief Executive at Grant Thornton. Stephen has spent nearly 30 years with Grant Thornton, beginning his career as a member of the assurance staff in the UK before assuming a series of domestic and international posts. Most recently, he spent 3 years as CEO of Grant Thornton China Management Corp. Before being named in late 2009 to succeed Ed Nussbaum as Grant Thornton's CEO. Welcome, Stephen.
Thank you, Bill.
You've been on the job now for about 9 months. In your estimation, what's been the biggest lesson that you've learned since taking over?
Well, a lot of lessons learned, actually. Steep learning curve. Probably one of the more personal lessons that I've learned is time management, frankly. A lot of demands on my time, and more than I anticipated. And so learning how to deal with that, learning how to prioritize has been a big challenge for me. And beyond that, I think what I've learned is something that I'd always felt, but has been great to see, and that is the versatility and strength and agility of our partners and people during what has been a tough time for the profession has really been fantastic, and it's been great to see that.
And if you, early on, if you had to change anything, is there anything you said, oh, I should have done that at the outset?
Bought a thicker coat for the Chicago winter, I think. Yes.
For the Chicago winter. Well, that brings me to my next question. As we said in the intro, you've had a lot of posts both domestically and international. Is that encouraged within the Grant Thornton structure? I mean, is that a natural way of progressing, or are you the exception?
No, I think it's increasingly the case. As our client base has become more international, our U.S. client base has become much more focused on expanding internationally. We have been, over the last several years, ramping up our international assignment programs. And increasingly, we are encouraging our people to have an international move or assignment as part of their career path. And if it doesn't actually mean physically moving overseas, at a minimum getting involved with clients that do have international activities and traveling and working with those clients in our other offices.
And it's also been a pretty busy time for you. You've recently sold some offices, closed some offices, Wichita, Kansas, Hawaii, to name two. And you've also unveiled this new strategy, Unleashing Your Potential. I was wondering if you could address perhaps a little bit of the strategy that's behind both. You said that we're going to focus on service lines that are the most profitable, perhaps get rid of others. I was wondering if you could kind of take us on a macro level what's going on.
Yes, just one brief clarification. We sold a small piece of our Wichita practice, not our Wichita office. But yes, one of the things that we felt was really important, Bill, and I felt was really important, is that we had to come out of this recessionary period as a firm stronger and more competitive. And that required us to get more focused and to really align the resources of our firm behind the parts of the marketplace where we really felt we could be successful. Because I think during the massive expansion that we'd seen over the last several years, where we've been very successful, you end up doing a lot of things. When the market gets tougher, you've got to get more focused. So part of our approach over the last 9 months was get more focused, make sure we come out of this recessionary period as a strong firm, able to position ourselves for growth and build a strategy that really is very clear about who we are, and what parts of the market we want to focus on.
And I was wondering if you could address a little bit about Unleashing Your Potential. It's a kind of an ambitious, overarching growth strategy where you're going to double your revenues within 5 years. Now, as everybody knows, it's a lot easier to double your revenues if you're a 2-person firm to a 4-person firm, but Grant Thornton certainly is one of the large global firms. A lot of people would say, all right, you're at $1 billion now, you plan to be at $2 billion by 2015, I believe it is. But not so long ago, you were at $400 million 4 or 5 years ago, and now you're at $1 billion. I was wondering if you could, maybe outline some of the steps you're going to take to achieve that, what many people would say is a rather ambitious goal.
It is an aggressive goal, it's an ambitious goal, but it's a goal that we believe is achievable. We think we have positioned the firm for growth, and even in this tough marketplace, with a strategy that's very focused on gaining market share in the dynamic organization space, which we believe is a space that we can truly own as a firm because of the unique characteristics that we have. We can reach that $2 billion goal. And there are 3 broad ways we'll achieve that, Bill. We'll achieve that by actually getting more growth out of the resources that we have today through this increased focus on the market that we truly want to own the dynamic organization market space. We're going to invest in new talent. We're going to be bringing new talent into the firm, particularly industry expertise, technical expertise, that again aligns very clearly with those parts of the market that we want to pursue. And we're going to aggressively pursue a merger and acquisition strategy because we believe that to truly be a leader in the dynamic organization space, which is what we aspire to be, we need the scale and critical mass both domestically and globally to establish that leadership. And so our ability to reach $2 billion through organic growth, investment in new talent, and merger and acquisition is what's going to take us there.
And traditionally, M&A has not been a large part of your growth strategy over recent years.
I would say that probably over the last 10 or 15 years, the biggest acquisition of talent that took place at Grant Thornton was in the post-Anderson world, when large number of Anderson partners joined us. But that wasn't a traditional merger, perhaps, as you may be referring to. So yes, this is a change from where we have been in the past. But we believe that there is going to be consolidation in the industry. We think that the combination of coming out of the other side of this economic boom period in this post-Sarbanes-Oxley world, and with the pressures in the marketplace that accounting firms are facing today, it's going to drive consolidation. We want to be in a position to be very clear about the focus of our firm so that we can participate in a dialogue with the firms that we believe may best align with our ability to achieve our strategy and give them an opportunity to actually exceed their expectations with us rather than continuing on their own.
Well, it'll be hard to argue since we've already seen 4 or 5 mergers of top 100 firms. Pursuing that end, have you identified any potential candidates? I know you're probably not at liberty to say, but are you're constantly scouring the market for?
Oh, absolutely. And I think what's really important about deciding on a clear and compelling strategy is that then that gives you the framework for looking at the marketplace and looking for those organizations that fit with you both culturally and in terms of market focus, talent, expertise, and ambition. And so we are able now, I think, with this very clear definition around our desire to own the dynamic organization space, to be able to go out and align with organizations and identify organizations that may best fit in terms of us executing that strategy, and also allow those organizations to see themselves in the execution of our strategy in a way that is exciting for them. So absolutely, yes.
So it has to be a good marriage on both sides.
We hope so.